Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and today I have my first Best Young Players in the Future video for FM15. For those of you guys that have been subscribed to me for a couple years now, you know I did the first ever video of Best Young Players in the Future in FM13. It was a really long video, over an hour, and I showed you each position, and in the video I put annotation so you can just click to the position you want, which was pretty cool. But then in FM14, I decided to make a few different ones of each positions. I only think I ended up doing about 4 or 5 or something like that. But they were really well received by you guys who have subscribed to the channel, and I guess everyone who just come across the videos. So I'll be endeavoring to do that right now. I want to cover all positions though, and if that goes well, I might, look to do something. I wouldn't do a series, like actually play a career, because that's just too specific, too similar to what I'm doing right now, just playing a career on Football Manager. I kind of feel I want to have a break from that. Of course, I'm still going to record it, but probably not as much as I was. I want to give you some fresh content, because I feel just everything, the subscribers coming in on my channel, your guys' comments, I just have a feeling, and myself as well, I feel like I want to freshen my content up in Football Manager at least, and in FIFA I'm going to do something similar with player growth tests, but you're not here to see FIFA, so we'll see that another day. But yes, I'm going to be hopefully covering each position, and we could probably go more specific as well if this goes well. As I said, I can maybe specific player roles, I could do that. But for today, I'll be doing the strikers, and hopefully you'll be able to get something out of the video. Hopefully there's going to be a very a good variant of players. Expensive play, not expensive, but the guys, the big players, just as a few names about here, like Divock Origi, he's the one of the highest valued, but then you got Romelu Lukaku as well. Vincent Aboubakar, he's a good, well, I know he is. I'm sure you guys have played FM for a while, he's a good goal scorer. But yeah, I've took everything off. I took realistic transfers, or took off unrealistic transfers, so you can see every single player basically. And I chose Manchester United, and obviously simulated about 5 or 6 years in, because they have one of the highest world knowledge. That's just at the top of my head. I know Manchester United will be high, so that's pretty self-explanatory for that. Then I'm not including my Manchester United players, obviously, and I haven't. This is not my Manchester United save, just let you guys know. But yeah, there's like Ayoze Perez and all of that. So I'm going to go through the best players, the best strikers, the best young wonder kid strikers in FM15. And like I said, if this goes well, with the likes and comments from you guys in this video, I will do more as requested. Leave in your comments, would you like me just to see what requested? Yeah, what's requested, like what position? Or would you like me just to go in order? Maybe next I'll go just like the wingers, and then I'll go midfielders, then defenders. Leave your thoughts. But we'll go in. We'll talk about who's the most. I want to cover a good amount here, so I'm not going to click on every single player. I just want to let you guys know that. I'm not going to click on every single player. I'm just going to go through the ones that might catch my interest. Obviously, ones you would know about already, like Romelu Lukaku. He's the most valued striker in this specific save anyway. And what I'll do, I'll obviously click on their profile. You can see how good they look, and I'll show you their history as well, which is probably most important when you look in the goal tally, for strikers, so you know their goal scoring record. And interesting that Lukaku has stayed at Everton for the duration of his career, up till this point anyway. And you can see the average rating, first couple seasons, fairly average. He had a big season, last season, 21 goals. He looks to be heading for something similar. And then Vincent Aboubakar, who's at Liverpool, obviously making the move. He's a really good finisher. He's composed. He's strong. He's pretty quick as well. 15 pace and 16s for the acceleration and agility. That is pretty strong. He joined pretty early, like early on in the save. They signed him for big money, and he's been a consistent player. Look at that average rating. Hasn't scored 20 goals in a season yet in the league, though, so that's probably something he needs to break through, but he's 28, and he hasn't done that yet, so this is good. It's good for you to see which players are capable of scoring 20 goals in a Premier League season. Mauro Icardi, but a lot of these guys are players you know of, so I want to maybe look for some more unique names. Divock Origi, you know about him for Liverpool, just give him a quick check. Yeah, that's his season so far. He's natural striker, but he doesn't smash in a lot of goals. But again, you got to look in the specific things. You don't know. Wait. He starts at Liverpool, yeah? He starts at Liverpool. He goes out on loan. Out on loan to Newcastle. Moved to Man City. Moved to Juve. And now he's gone back to Liverpool. So he's been around the block pretty much. So we'll go back now. And yeah, a different name. Ezequiel Ponce. He's a bit younger than those guys. So we're about 5 years in, yeah? Or 5 or 6 years in. Because Save started in Save started in 2014. So, and we're in 2020, so that's about 6 years. Maybe 5.5 years because it's in February. But anyway, Ezequiel Ponce, PSG, he's only 22 and he's already worth 31.5 million. That's insane. But they did just sign him as well. So don't forget about that. That's something you have to take into account. But you can't discredit what he's done. He scored 19 goals in 22 starts in the league. So he'll get like a 20-goal season. Oh, but there's something got to consider. I'm only in February at this point as well. So obviously he's going to be pushing for a 20-goal season. Richaro Zivkovic, he's still only 23. But yeah, I think going in 5 or 6 seasons is the best. Because all these players that start at 17 or whatever, they're around 22, 23, 24. They're still on the younger scale, but they're not going to improve dramatically. You get a good gauge of their ability. Zivkovic hasn't absolutely dominated, had the best season, or like the most goals he scored for Ajax. Then actually Everton signed him, which was a pretty good move, but he didn't do too fantastic for them. So they had both Zivkovic and Lukaku. That is scary. Al Shaarawy, his ability. Jose Perez actually moving to Manchester United. He's a good player. He develops into a good player. He can play in a few attacking positions. Signed for 44.5 million, so big money there. And I guess the following season, he rewarded that with 24 goals. And obviously, look at those consistent average ratings, really, really high. And we'll move next into Paulo Dybala. He is not the best finisher in the world. If you're looking for a natural finisher, he is not that. He's more of a creator as well, but he still scored 18 goals last season. Look at those high average ratings as well. Moved to PSG. You look at that 2016 season. He only signed for, what was that? Oh, that would have been in January, right? Yeah. Signed just below 7 million. I reckon that's a bargain for Dybala. No doubt that's a bargain. So around the same time, of course, it may be different in your specific save, but you may want to write that down and see that's probably the best time to sign him, unless he just got suddenly transfer listed around that time. So yeah, Paulo Dybala. Here's Leo Baptistao, who's at Everton currently. I think he starts somewhere in Spain. Yeah, like Atletico. Moves to Schalke for 7 million and has a pretty good time at Schalke. Scored, I guess this season here. I'm not sure why he didn't play heaps. Because obviously he joined the season before. He must have had injury problems. I don't really know. But he scored 8 goals in 13 starts. Or 12 starts and 1 off the bench in the league. Look at that. 18 goals in 24 games the following season. That's his best effort. So, yeah, probably not the best option out there. There's something about him I don't really like. Maybe it's 15 finishing. I like it to be higher than 15 for my key striker. I just want him to be a really good finisher. Domenico Berardi. He's really solid. He's quick. He's strong. He scored 21 league goals for Arsenal this season at 25. They did really, really well to sign him. Sassuolo got relegated from Serie A. They picked him up. He did play 1 season. When they got relegated, he dominated 22 goals, as you would expect. Like every season, basically, he's played. Of course, first season probably the weakest as he's a youngster. But then he just kicks on. And look at that average rating. He's a suggested signing without a doubt. So if you ever see Sassuolo get relegated, keep your tabs on him. Scout Domenico Berardi. And you can get him. That's below his price, without a doubt. 8 million. That is a bargain signing by Arsenal. And obviously, he's reaped the rewards this season especially, or the past 3 seasons, really. You think he's probably going to go a bit beyond that, the 22 and 23 goals. But, yeah, last 3 seasons, scoring over 20 goals in like a mid-age, like 25, 26. Oh, man, he's a good signing. I definitely might consider him myself. And next up, Anthony Martial, still at AS Monaco. He's a strong, quick, really good finisher, a good pen taker if you're looking for that as well. Hasn't had the best of seasons though. This is something got to take into account. He's only had, the only good season he's had, that's in the reserves, the most goals, The most goals he scored in a season for AS Monaco, not the reserves of them, is only 12 goals. So that's nothing special. He moved to it's so weird when you see these kind of things. He just moves to PSG, and then they instantly buy him back. I don't see why. He had a decent, like a season average rating wise, but still only scored 10 goals, you know? Oh, but we got to look into it more. He only started 6 games. So yeah, you got to look into this stuff. He only started 6 games in the league, came off the bench 17 times and scored 10 goals. So that's not as bad. So, but again, they signed him. Maybe Monaco, they just don't create the chances for him. So that's something you got to take into account with Anthony Martial. And this is one guy that surprised me. I've never seen him in my saves yet. Obviously, he is in them. I just never seen him become good or anything. Zach Clough, if that's how you say his name. Sorry if it's wrong. I wasn't sure how to say his name. But he's worth 25 million. And first when I saw this guy, I'm like, who are you? Who's this beast? Starts at Nottingham Forest. Starts at Bolton, then signed for Nottingham Forest. He starts on loan. Obviously, he starts at Bolton. First season on loan at Aberdeen in the Scottish Premiership. Has a very solid season, 16 goals. Then Championship, 2 solid seasons of scoring goals. 24 in his last in 46 games. Started 40. So obviously key player at that level. And then, third season? He signs for Nottingham Forest for 5.5 million, which is still cheap. That's while they were still in the Championship. So they weren't at the Premier League yet. And he scored 31 goals in that season. That's insane. 38 starts. Amazing. In the league. The league goals. 33 altogether. Obviously no continentals. And then in the Premier League, he's just... The first season, average rating-wise, wasn't amazing. But he started every single game. That shows his importance. He can start every single game for a Premier League team. Scored 18. And already this season, he scored 19. And not just that, he looks amazing. His jumping reach is a bit low. So I wouldn't rate him from the headers. But he's a quick striker. He can finish. He's a very good passer as well. Could probably create... reminds me, obviously not as good, but maybe he could be an English Aguero or something like that. You just see his passing ability, technique as well, but he can finish. This is why I do these. This is exactly why I do this series and these videos. This guy, myself, I never heard of, but I know if I'm playing another save early in it, I know he's out on loan in the first season, but I could sign him and he's going to develop to be in world-class, like top 5 level, and he's English as well. So yeah, definitely, probably the best English striker in the game. There might be Danny Ings as well. We'll check out him very soon. But that's why I do these videos. He might be a guy like you. Of course, there's some of you guys that might know about him, and yeah, he's a great player for you. You've signed him before, but there might be some guys that haven't heard of him and could be a bargain signing for you. Next up, we're kind of finding more of these now. Obviously, I've heard of Tony Sanabria before. But obviously not as much as the guys on top of him. He's at Everton. So Everton have some talent here. Oh, they had some talent. Lukaku and Zivkovic. Yeah, Zivkovic moved. So they had Sanabria, Zivkovic, and Lukaku at some point. Or did he? Oh, no, he just signed this season. So they didn't have him at the same time. So in the game, where does he start? Barcelona? Because he goes out on loan to Sassuolo, then to Betis, if that's how you say their name. Now he's moved to the Premier League for 11 million. After the season, he signed for Juve for just under 10 million. Signed for 9.5, only played 1 game, and they did pretty well to make a profit off him, to be honest. He actually played some international games, and he scored 4 times, so he can score for his national team. Is that like Paraguay? Yeah. For Paraguay, he's one of those players. He's pretty quick, not so fast. Pace only 15, but 16s for acceleration and agility. But then he's got that 3 of first touch, finishing, and dribbling, all being 16. And I guess technique as well. So 4 of those in the technicals. He's a good young dribbler. I'd like to see how he would go as a winger, but obviously he's natural as a striker unless you want to mold him into one of those type of players. So anyone else here? Malcolm. He's a guy just like a Brazilian. Yeah, he's Brazilian. He's played 1 game for Brazil. Again, he's a guy I'd probably prefer to play out wide or something like that. Just, judging off his attributes, he's really quick. Finishing 14, it's not the most clinical in the world, or at least compared to the others I've showed you. Is that his first European move? No, he went on loan. Well, permanent move at least. He got some loans. Went out on loan a few times. But yeah, then played a few seasons for Corinthians as a first teamer. But again, for Roma, I don't think he really convinced at that level in the Brazilian First Division. But each to their own. I personally wouldn't. Again, it all depends what the kind of team you are. Like, how much did they sign him for? For 11 million or just under 12 million. But he's obviously getting the job done, right? Because his value has skyrocketed up to 23 million when signing for just below 12. So, yeah, but he hasn't dominated with average ratings in the league. So that's something you've got to take into account. Timo Werner, of course, he's been a beast. You guys know about him. He's beast like last 3 years in Football Manager. He's been amazing. Plays for the German national team. Average ratings this specific season hasn't been amazing. I thought he might look a bit better. I think he looked a bit better than in FM14, but either way, he stayed at Stuttgart. But he hasn't really been amazing. I said, he's amazing every year, but I don't think he's that level. I think FM14 he was a bit better. He was like just OP, but he's not the same this year, I feel. He's still a good striker. Obviously, he's up in the highest valued, but not that level. So here we're going to look for a few younger guys. So we will lower the age bracket now. I'll just show you Danny Ings. I just wanted to show you the top level guys. Obviously, there's a few of them that would have been a bit younger. Like I show you that English player, Clough. But I want to find more like him, so I'll lower the age. Just want to show you Danny Ings. But yes, what was his age? Where are we? Where's England? Danny Ings is there. And Zach Clough. He's 24, so I might think about what's 25, Berardi. I'll put a maximum age of 25 here, and we'll roll like that and see who out. Because, I don't want to find regions or something like that, but you can kind of notice it with their name if their name doesn't click for you. Yusuf Poulsen, West Brom, very physical. I instantly looked at his technical attributes, and in my head, I was like, nah, he's crap. But, physical attributes really good. He's quick and strong. Obviously, he'll suit a team around mid-table in the Premier League or something like that. But he scores goals. I said, he doesn't look good technically, but his physical ability must show. Look, he's got 15 goals, 15, 20, 16, 19. Only this season he's scored 6 for whatever reason in the league. So I don't know why that is. It's the way it's panned out. But the first couple of seasons, he's definitely rewarded them, West Brom. So anyone else? There's Ponce. We checked out all those guys up there already. Alberto Cherry, Palmer. Again, a physical player. Shows he can score. Oh, he's got some nice attributes, doesn't he? His heading, finishing 18. Those are the kind of strikers I like with very high finishing, 18 strength. And he's not slow as well. He's still got 15 pace. So a good mix there. And look at that season there. 26 goals. So he's a guy, of course, it's only been one season. He might do the same this season, almost do the same the previous season. He's capable of scoring you 20 goals, 26 in the league, not the total goals for the season, depending if you play continental games and all of that. Gabriel Barbosa, he's a young player. We know about him. He's not the highest finishing in the world, but he's well-rounded and he's going to play a good role for the team. He doesn't really create too much, but he hasn't had a big goal-scoring season as well. The hype's always, sometimes I get suggested to sign him, Gabriel Barbosa, amazing young Brazilian striker, but hasn't scored that big 20-goal season yet. Obviously, it depends the role he's playing for his team, if they play with 2 strikers or whatever, but I can only judge, what he's done, for Schalke, but hasn't scored a heap amount of goals, but he's played well. Next up, there's Salke. More of a unique name here. Not sure how much of you guys know about him. He's high valued. Has he signed recently? Not. He starts at Werder Bremen, of course, but he's never scored a huge amount of goals. He's high valued, so maybe if you see him, maybe don't sign him because he doesn't score if you're looking for that guy to score you 20 goals in the season, this guy's not it. He may look all right to you. He's got pace, natural fitness. The finishing's only 14. And it's not like a gelling problem. He's been at Werder Bremen for the whole of his career, really, when the save starts anyway. Of course, he moved from Hoffenheim for free. But the most goals he scored in the season is 16. And that's his best average rating and just budged over that 7. So, yeah, I'm not too impressed with him, to be honest. Just being brutally honest. Carlos Fierro, again, he's a guy every year that's been amazing. He's only played a few games for Valencia, just signed in January, so you can't judge that too harshly. Chelsea signed him, but didn't really use him for the last couple seasons. But again, he's another one that hasn't scored 20 goals in a season, even in the Mexican League. He managed to score 18 and 24, so I guess if he played more games, would have scored 20 in the season. But in a big league, but Chelsea, they didn't give him a go, so I can't give a proper review. They use him like as a player off the bench, so can't be too accurate with my description. Next up, there's Luka Zahovic. He's at Fulham right now. Could be an interesting one. Just gotta check. See, I'm not sure how in depth I'm gonna go now because the world class level players are not showing anymore. That's basically what I mean. But he's a cheap signing. If you're a team that just got promoted or something, maybe it could be that level. But even in this league, which I have no idea, where's that? Where's Maribor? Whatever country this is, Slovenia. So without being a dominant player in that league, you can't see why a Premier League team would sign him. But then he stepped up and scored 14 goals. So yeah, who knows? He scored that for Watford. But he's got a higher value just because he signed for that much. So it doesn't look absolutely amazing in my honest opinion. Santi Mina, he's currently at Swansea, Spanish player. They like to sign those kind of players, Swansea. But Salta, again, he's not a beast. Again, high value because he just signed. But he's got high agility, but that's the only outstanding attribute, not enough in my view. He's a good youngster. Julian Green, I've heard this guy's name before. He's currently at Tottenham. Big-ish Premier League team he's at. Starts at, where are we? Bayern Munich. He's out on loan to a few sides. But again, doesn't really impress. I told you, lowering in the quality now. There's a guy called Carlos. Not bad, but yeah, we're kind of drifting away. He dominates in the Brazilian league, though. A few seasons over 20 goals. Maybe he could step up. I haven't experienced, and I can't see with the stats that he moved to another team outside of Brazil, so I can't give a proper judgment on that. And this guy's obviously going to be a regen. I don't know. I'm clicking on him. I just want to see how he looks. It's always a mixed bag with regens. He's got low composure and then some low other technicals. But don't worry, because he's not going to be in your game for sure. Cecilio Dominguez. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. This flash thing he's wearing on his head. You may want to sign him if you have the same face back. But anyway, doesn't look flash hot. And that's his first season. He just signed for Southampton. You haven't given him much of a go. But just instantly looking at him, he doesn't look like a Premier League player attribute-wise. Maybe for a lower Premier League team, but that's stretching it. How about this guy? Thales, good finishing, good strength, okay pace. He's currently at Vasco. He starts at Vasco as well, and he scores a lot of goals. Every season he's scored above 20. You got to look into this guy without a doubt. I know it's not in your European league, like a Premier League level or whatever, or Spanish league, Italian league, Bundesliga, whatever, but he scores goals at this level. He's played 18 games for the national team. So, yeah, he's one to keep your eye on if you can sign him. I don't know if he's got a release clause or something like... No, that's just like insanely high, but that's for domestic clubs. But anyway, someone to keep your eye on. So I reckon we'll just go down to 10 million because anyone lower than 10 million is not world-class level, in my view. So, yeah, Briel Embolo. I know he's got high potential in FIFA, and this is how he looks here at Stoke. So again, has he got a 20-goal season? He hasn't. Not very impressive. Just like an average kind of striker. Kennedy, I've seen him a few times. Hasn't developed yet into any attributes above 16 and still at Fluminense. Yeah, not really too impressive on my view. Jean-Marie Dungo. Or Dungo, ex-Barca player. Does he start at Barca? Yeah, he does. It doesn't move till very late. You might want to look in that season where Genoa signed him. In January, when it just turned January, in 2018, you could get him on a free transfer, depending the team you play. I just got to look closely. How many games did he actually start for Barcelona? Not their B team or anything like that. 3 games there, and that's it. Doesn't come through at Barca, and like the reserve level for them. Scored 21 goals, but then moved to Newcastle, scored 14 goals in the Premier League. From 25 starts, 27 appearances in total in the league, so it's not terrible. He'll score you some amount of goals. 24, he's not terribly young. If you like him, you can sign him up without a doubt. He'll score. I'll be confident he can score. Sandro, again, he's a finisher from Barcelona. He's not amazingly rated. They're still sticking with him for whatever reason, even though he's never scored a huge amount compared to, that Dongo guy. So, it's an interesting one. But let's look around for anyone else. We're going below that 10 million. Azawi, he must start very young, like 17 maximum. Because of 2020, the year 2020 now. He actually starts at Tottenham and out on loan to Brighton first couple seasons. Had a very good season for Real Madrid C. So what? Did Real Madrid actually sign him, or the C team signed him? Because I don't really know, but either way, he dominated for them, but not the first team of Real Madrid, of course, but doesn't look like an absolute superstar striker, but now we would be going below 10 million, of course. So these are the best strikers in the game. I'll take off the 25 just so you can see the highest valued strikers, and there isn't any others, so if you put realistic transfers, there'll be less players, so you put that on, and there would be more. So there we go. We'll leave it like that. You can see the highest values. Leave your thoughts out of these strikers. Who looks the best? Which of these guys you're going to sign? And of course, drop a like if you enjoyed this video. If this video gets great support, I'll do the next position, drop position. Which ones you want to see, and maybe some other ideas later. But right now, I want to focus on just doing the positions. But definitely, if this is successful, I want to maybe just check out certain teams and see how they're going or something. But I want to complete this in a series. I want to do every single position, and we'll see how we go from there. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I'll see you guys next time.